Hi, friends. Good evening. How is your weekend? I believe you're having a wonderful time from the break, and would like to welcome you for today's training. I would also like to apologize for not meeting up with the training yesterday. It was due to some, demands beyond our immediate control. Um, but thank God we are here today to continue with the training. So, my name is Tavle Joshua. I am the registrar of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and your always facilitator here to do justice to that which is to be done. So, I'd like to welcome all of you for our free 1 month professional diploma training in peace and sustainable development. This training is being provided by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management for free for those that are following us on YouTube and on our Facebook. So if you are not following us on Facebook or on YouTube, please do so that you can stand a chance to benefit from this training. Uh, it's totally free from training to certification. It's totally free. And of course, by next week we'll be running up this training, and by first Saturday of November, they'll be taking their examination. So we expect those that have been part of the training to not relax, to persevere until they finish strong. Thank you very much for always taking time to be part of this training, Mr. Paul. Thank you for always being punctual to connect, Mr. Nosakale Nosakari. Thank you for also uh, being punctual, and Ella. Ella also thank you for always being punctual. Patient, thank you for connecting. So we appreciate all of you for taking time to be part of today's training as well. We hope that we're going to have a wonderful time to discuss issues that matter today as well. Today we'll be looking at some interesting issues uh, based on what we have been discussing. We have been looking at peace and sustainable development. We are in module 7 now. We're in module 7. And in module 7, we're going to look at unit 1, right? Unit 1 of module 7. And we'll be looking at something interesting. We'll be looking at gender, peace, and sustainable development. All right? We look at gender, peace, and sustainable development. These are vital components of what the society is trying to address at the moment now. So we'll be discussing them here: gender, peace, and sustainable development. How does conflict influence uh, impacts gender, and how does gender also influences conflict in our society? What is their contribution in terms of peace building? All of these questions, we'll try to ask them and answer them while we dive into this issue that we want to consider here today. All right, so we're looking at the issue of gender, peace, and sustainable development. You can all agree with me that gender gender influences conflict, as well as also conflict influence gender or impacts gender differently. Do you understand? Now, the fact is that men, the gender we call masculinity, they are they causes more harm to peace than the feminism. Do you understand? Because women are more peaceful when it comes to comparison. Women are more peaceful when compared to men. And that's why if you see some of the countries where we have prime ministers as women, You see, those countries are very, very, very peaceful, very peaceful. Let's take, for instance, Iceland. Let's take another example, Poland. Let's take another example, Switzerland. Let's take another example, Germany, before someone else took over. Do you understand? These countries are very, very, very peaceful. Look at Barbados, where we have prime minister is a woman. So these countries are peaceful because the gender that is leading those countries, you know, are tuned to peace. Do you understand? They are by nature designed to be peaceful more than men. And so countries where men are ruling, you don't see Israel, where the prime minister is a very strong man, right? Very powerful man. But when in some countries you see powerful women, but they are very peaceful. But powerful man comes with consequences. Are you getting my point now? So Israel, powerful man, but powerful problem, right? Iran, powerful men, powerful problem. So these things are problem. Do you understand? So they are problem. So where men rule, it's possible that we'll have challenge with peace because by nature men causes problem to society. But where women lead, it's possible that we will enjoy peace. So gender influences conflict, and conflict in one way or the other also impacts gender differently. Because we say that in every conflict situation, women and children suffers the most and the aged. Do you understand? The old people, the women, and the young children or children suffer the most when it comes to conflicts. Do you understand? When men are more resilient in conflict than women and children and old people. Do you understand? So gender influences conflict, and conflict in other way around also impact you know conflict. And so gender and conflict is a very, very complex issue, right? So when we look at their role and the influence, the identity and the influence, do you understand? So when we're talking about gender and conflict, we have some elements that we need to consider in relation to gender and conflict. We have gendered experiences of conflict. Men and women often experience conflict differently. I have said it already. Women may face gender-based violence, such as sexual violence, during armed conflict, while men might be more likely to be combatants. Do you understand? So, when it comes to rape issues, it's women that suffer it. Do you understand? They suffer it. All right. Gender-based violence, they suffer it. Sexual abuse, rapes, and all of that. Do you understand? Genital mutilation and all of that are issues that associate with um, war or conflict, conflict zone, these things are possible. You understand? And women are at the receiving end of these things. So gender experiences of conflict. So men and women have different experiences when it comes to conflict. Men can stand and withstand the pressure that comes with conflict, but women break down. They understand they suffer the most. They get more vulnerable in times like that. Then we'll talk about the impact on vulnerable groups. Of course, women are vulnerable, the aged are vulnerable, and of course, the children are also vulnerable. And we have other vulnerable groups like the LGBTQ, all right, other individuals with certain peculiarities and all of that. So there's also have suffered different impact when it comes to gender and conflict issues. Then we'll talk about the role of women in peace building. The role of women in peace building. Women can play crucial roles in peace processes and post-conflict reconstruction. And I wonder why sometimes we go on special envoys and women are not included. But of recent, I have seen women going, all right. The former president of Liberia, that woman is always following, and that is a good one. Sometimes they invite her to follow. And we have reputable women also that are being considered to be on special envoys. So that is a good one. Do you understand? Let them participate. Let them be also carried along in trying to resolve conflict around the world. In fact, it's even the Barbados Prime Minister that was making a case for global peace. And some of us, I think we share it on our Facebook page. If you have not seen it, go and listen to what the woman was saying. Very making sense a lot, all right, on the issue of global peace. So we need such kind of voices in our society, and women can play such role. So, and for us as institution, like I said before, we have the forum called the Women in Peace Building Forum as an aspect of the institute. We'll be inaugurating the national officials during our convention, and then they will take over from there and continue mobilizing women peace building activities. Do you understand? So their participation can lead to more sustainable peace agreements and more comprehensive approach to rebuilding societies. Exactly. Because they are tender people, they are lovely and peaceful people. Do you understand? When compared to men, if you want bone to bone, we'll give you. Do you understand? Anyhow you want it, we'll give it to you the way you want it. But women are not like that. And they are not wired to be rugged like men. You understand? So wherever they lead, there's possibility that we will experience peace. And of course, if they are involved in peace building processes, there are tendencies that we will have more sustainable agreements than when only men are involved. You understand? Then the issue of masculinities in conflict. Masculinities. This concept of masculinities is important in understanding how male identities influence behaviors in conflict settings. Do you understand? Traditional notions of masculinity may encourage aggression and violence. That's what I say. Originally, we are designed and wired to be violent. Do you understand? And to be aggressive more than women. Men are designed and wired to be more aggressive and violent as compared to women. Women, and that's why we call them the weaker sex. Do you understand? They are the weaker sex. If you read the Lion on the Jewel, that's where I came to know the word weaker sex. Even though Bible talk about it, but I came to know about weaker sex in the Lion and the Jewel. Do you understand? And that the book written by Wole Soyinka. Some of you might have read the book. You understand? So they call them the weaker sex. Do you understand? So they tend to be more peaceful than men. Do you understand? Yes, I can have seen some women that iron benders. Do you understand? They can carry man for head, knock for ground. I have one in my area. He used to carry his husband and her husband. She will carry her husband, knock for ground. She will sit on the husband, beating and be crying. No, she will be beating the husband, and she is the one crying the loudest, so that people will gather. When you will gather everywhere, that's in my village. When we will finally gather, we discover that this woman that was crying, I see somebody is beating her. She she's sitting on the husband, beating the husband, and she's now crying the most. Do you understand? That's the kind of woman she was. Yes. So she was very powerful than the man. At the same time, the weaker aspect of that was also of womanism or feminism also demonstrated in her. She would be sitting on the husband but crying. Do you understand? That's to show you how weak women and peaceful they are. Even when they are strong, they are still weak. Do you understand? They can easily be broken down. Do you understand? That's a woman for you. So men are wired more rugged. They are wired to be violent and aggressive. Do you understand? So that's why we are the rule. Tendency is that there are maybe issues here and there. Do you understand? When women can be so concerned and so passionate and so caring, but men can easily ignore certain things based on the way they feel towards a particular issue. So policy and advocacy, international frameworks such as United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 emphasize the importance of including gender perspective in peace and security initiatives. Of course, we need to Have all of them available. Both the female and male should work together to bring peace to our society. Do you understand? So it's better that way. It's better that way. It's better that way. And then we have intersectionality, the experience of individuals in conflict are shaped not just by gender, but also by other factors such as race, ethnicity, class, and sexuality, leading to diverse experiences and needs, of course. You see, even let me tell you something, sexual orientations, all right, even in Nigeria, for instance, in the northern part of the country is different from what we experience in the southern part of the country. Sexual orientations. And then the issue of class consciousness is also one of the issues that can also facilitate uh, conflict and conflict experiences differently. So, but let's look at some of the gendered impacts of conflict and violence. Gendered impact of conflict and violence. The gendered impacts of conflict and violence are profound and multifaceted. They are not unidimensional. They are multidimensional. Do you understand? Affecting individuals and communities in various ways. And what are those ways? Now let's look at gender-based violence, GBV. Gender-based violence. Now, maybe some of these things we'll discuss them when we're talking about social justice and advocacy next month, and that's December course. Social justice and what advocacy. We will see some of these things more explained. So, sexual violence. That's when we're talking about gender-based violence. One of the things that comes in mind first is sexual violence. Women and gays are often subjected to sexual violence during conflict, including rape, trafficking, and forced prostitution. Forced, what do we mean by forced prostitution? When they are displaced and there's no means of livelihood to cater for them, what do you expect? They jump into what they were not originally planning to do, but they are doing it for survival. Do you understand? They're doing it because they need to survive. And some of them become victim of their situation, displaced and raped. That is, conflict displaced you, and then you become a victim of inhuman, or what my pastor will call hormones. That's the human demons. Human human demons. Hormones. Do you understand? All right. My pastor called it hormones. That is human demons. Do you understand? Some human demons. Somebody is displaced, and now that person is now also being not only being, this person may be regarded as internally displaced person, or can even be a refugee, and on top to that she is a victim of rape, because one man cannot hold his prick. Do you understand? Or cannot go and look elsewhere to satisfy his or her his desire. Do you understand? You look at the young girl and then you target and you rape. Then I can tell you that after war, the level of trauma, the level at which people got traumatized, it's multi-dimensional. I'm talking about the issue of conflict itself is one trauma that no one can forget, because you be in your own home, suddenly you are displaced. You find yourself in a camp or on the street somewhere, stranded. In this condition, you are being raped again. What can be more? You see, this is the reason why our society is very, very wicked. Because people's experiences are not too good. And if they begin to respond to those experiences, or react, let me not say respond, react to those experiences, then other innocent people also suffer. So rape, trafficking in person. Do you understand? So sexual violence, women and gays often are subjected to these issues. So you can see experiences that is different. But we're talking about gendered impacts of conflict and violence. So you can see now that women are the receiving end of this conflict. That is whenever conflict, that's why women are always trying to avoid conflict. Because when the conflict comes, they are the ones to suffer the most. That's why a woman can beg down, lie down and beg my husband, don't fight, don't fight. I don't want you to fight. Do you understand? Why? Because they know that at the end of the day, they will be the one to even suffer it the most. Domestic violence. We're talking about gender-based violence. Domestic violence conflict can exacerbate what domestic violence as economic instability and social dislocation increase tensions within the household because there's pressure on the husband to meet the needs of the family or the male counterpart there's pressure on them to meet the needs of the family, and when such needs are not met and when such demands are not being met, and women must demand. Do you understand? They may be quiet, they may understand with the situation, but they may still demand. And in a situation like this, if care is not taken, men get to be more brutal, more aggressive, because one, they are frustrated because they cannot fulfill the needs of the family. So what do you expect? They begin to threat. They begin to threaten and abuse. Do you understand? And then sometimes the abuse also turn to be physical abuse. Do you understand? So it's a problem. All right. So domestic violence. And so man begin to beat the wife. Why? Because he cannot meet the needs. When the men, women try and understand with them, sometimes, do you understand? Because they cannot bear coming home to see you in needs. And so instead of trying to control their emotions, they cannot, because one, they are frustrated because they cannot meet the needs. There's so much pressure, there's so much expectation, and this thing is not coming out. So originally they are stressed out, they are frustrated. And so what do you expect when you want to add a little? So please, in situation whereby your husband cannot meet your needs, please try to understand, because these things can happen most especially in conflicting situations or in conflict zones. Days when there are no issues, when there are no crises, people still experience this, let alone when there's crisis. Displacement and refugee status. Vulnerabilities of women and gays. That is, displaced women face heightened risk of violence, exploitation, and abuse in refugees camp. Yes, they can be exploited because women are so tender, and they wouldn't want to bear seeing their children suffer. They prefer to suffer than their children. So that they prefer, they can go to whatever extent just to protect the image and the reputation, and just to meet the needs of their children. So in this kind of situation, they may be exploited because we have some humans, that is human demons, moving around. You understand? So they can cause trouble. They can exploit such. They are heartless people that cannot control, can use that on anybody and exploit them, all right, abuse them, because they may lack also access to basic needs, healthcare, because and sometimes these are the areas where they get also exploited because those people that are to provide those services are asking for something else. So you need the services, you compromise. You need urgent attention, you compromise. Hence, vulnerabilities tends to be high in conflicting situation or in conflict. Loss of what support system, loss of support system. So the displacement often leads to the breakdown of community and family network, increasing women's vulnerability. Because sometimes men, times they run and everybody's running for his or her life, forget the woman and the wife and the children behind. Run for his life. Do you understand? Economic impact, loss of livelihood. So conflicts disrupt economic activities, disproportionately affecting women who often rely on informal and subsistent economies. This can lead to increased poverty and dependency because they were doing some petty business to survive and keep the family moving. But then come the wicked conflict. Okay? No, conflict is a wicked god. Most especially armed conflict. Wicked guy. Yes. Conflict is a guy, oh, very wicked one. Do you understand? So once it comes, it disrupts everything, displaces people. People lose their means of livelihood at the frequency of conflict. Psychosocial effect, trauma and mental health, exposure to violence and what instability can lead to a long-term psychological effect, including PTSD, anxiety, and depression, which may be experienced differently by men and women. But like we say, women suffer this the most. Trauma and mental health, times of crisis at whatever level, at the family level, crisis, women suffer it the most. In the community, in armed conflict zone, they suffer the most. All right, stigmatization, and then one of the problems why the crimes of war, civil crimes of war, sometimes are not being reported is because of the avoidance of stigmatization. Because somebody is being raped, but keep quiet. They don't want to talk about it because of how the society will view it. So it's better to keep quiet and behave as if nothing happened. But you were raped. And that's why we strongly support women being sent on peacekeeping mission. That is that is even if they are not military personnel, even if they are not police, in peacekeeping missions, we used to have even civilians. So it's not only the military, not only the uniform people, even civilian goes on peacekeeping missions. You understand? So women should be also included in good number. There's effort that have been made by the United Nations to make sure that women are being included, but yet there's still limitation. But women must be included. Why? Because in times of trying to get along with the community people, like for instance, now let's take for instance now in the northeast of Nigeria, you want to go there and talk to a lady as a man, they will not be free to tell you anything. You understand? Except those that don't care kind of ladies. But if the ones that value their dignity and reputation, they will not be able to open their mouth and tell you their experience. So that's why you have to include women, so that when matters that are concern women, women will interview them to know what happened, to know their experience during the war, and they can tell better. They can express themselves better and feel more free to express themselves. You understand? As a result, you'll be able to help the person to get out of that traumatic situation. You understand? But trauma issues are some of the worst experiences in times of conflict. You survive a bullet, but yet somebody's prick you cannot survive. So how do you feel? After you feel as if it's better you would have been killed than somebody trying to force himself on you. Do you understand? So stigmatization, survival is empty. I will not marry a raped person. Do you understand? Which can lead to isolation and further psychological distress. And so by the time you get to know that, oh, these things you say just to, except you are somebody who is really, really well informed, somebody who is regretted, that you can express that kind of feeling and without minding anything, what people are saying. Only very few women can withstand that. By the time you go and hear your experience from somebody is talking about you, gossiping about you will not bear it. You feel like moving that location, changing that location, finding yourself way out of the situation. So political and social participation, marginalization in peace process. Women are often underrepresented in peace negotiation and post-conflict governance. When we are going on all these special envoys, you sometimes you just see one woman, plenty of men, right? That's why we are not getting it. We work or go on special envoys. At the end of the day, no result because women. So if you join this meeting, you can do way to share it with someone, invite them to also be part of this meeting, share it on your wall, invite them to be part of it, and then also like and then also comment, and so that we'll know what's going on and whether you are following us right or not. Yes. No, it's not hormone. So, uh and psychosocial effects, stigmatization, displacement, and refugee status. So it's not hormones. I'm not talking about hormones. So I'm talking about human. You know, human instead of humans, you put humans. Do you understand? Humans, humans instead of human. You can put humans. That is it's like you remove the demons, you remove that demons there. So and then you remove the aspect of human man out of it, and then bring the hue and the demons. Do you understand? So what we have there now is human demons. It's a combination of human demons. That's what we're talking about here. So men in demonic forms. That is what we're talking about here. Men, but they are that is demons in human forms. Let me put it that way. Demons in human forms. That's what I'm talking about. So that's why we say hormones, not hormones like hormones in the body. No, that's not that one. Do you understand? I don't know you understand what I'm trying to explain there. So health impact, reproductive health, conflict disrupt healthcare service leading to inadequate maternal and reproductive healthcare, which can result in increase in maternal mortality and morbidity rates. Do you understand? So many children end up dying in the course of labor. Do you understand? Because services that are available cannot just help in difficult and complex situations. Spread of diseases. The breakdown of health system can also facilitate and influence the outbreaks of diseases, and this can also affect women disproportionately. Educational disparities. access to education. Conflict often disrupt educational service, with girls being more likely to be pulled out of school due to security concerns, early marriage, or economic pressures. Do you understand? So children, gay children can always at the they're always at the receiving end of every situation. You understand? So long-term consequences, the loss of educational opportunity for gays can have long-term implications for gender equality and economic development. We have uh, Ngozi, right? Konjo Iweala, right? Doing us proud at whatever level. We have Amina Mohammed now, who is also a Nigerian ambassador to UN. You understand? So there are women, they are contributing to make our world peaceful in their own way. Do you understand? In their own field. That's what must provide education to their child. So let's look at the role of women in peace building. Do women play any special role in peace building process? Yes, women play such a role, crucial roles in peace building process. And number one is diverse perspectives. That's women, you know, accommodate diverse perspectives. Unique insights, women bring different experiences, perspectives, and priorities to peace negotiation, often advancing for issues that may be overlooked, such as social justice, healthcare, and education. Things that may you know may need to be overlooked. Women may bring the details of it out. You understand? Community understanding of their communities' needs and can address grassroots issues that are vital for long-term peace. So women, given the opportunity and the right opportunity, they stand in a better position to address some of these issues that we're talking about here. They'll talk about advocacy and mobilization. Grassroots role in grassroots movement, organizing committees, communities advocating for peace, and challenging violence and militarization. So women have played this role on different occasions. We have women that are speaking out way for our society. Do you understand? They're speaking out way for our society. So we have several of them that are doing great things for our. You see, the Prime Minister of Barbados, she was making case at the United Nations General Assembly, where she even confronted the Prime Minister of Israel. You understand? And make case for global peace. So we need that. We need them. We need them. So coalition of buildings, right? Women often collaborate across ethnic, religious, and political lines to foster dialogue and understanding. So women build bridges to make sure that they bring about peace in their communities. Now, let's talk about the issue of negotiation and mediation. Women play active role in mediation like that in our community. Then we'll talk about Post-conflict reconstruction, leadership in recovery. Women often take on leadership role in rebuilding their communities after conflict, focusing on social cohesion and economic recovery. That's what women are doing. There are some reintegration programs. They also facilitate the reintegration of the once displaced uh, internally person or refugees. All right, making sure that after orientation, after some form of training, these people are now reincorporated or reintegrated in the society. Education and awareness. Promoting peace education. Women often lead initiatives to educate communities about peace, conflict resolution. We have so many of them. Like I have one in Anambra now. She was out there visiting secondary schools to discuss the issue of peace clubs and all of that. Yes, I don't want to mention her name, but let me mention her name because she's doing a good thing with us. I don't know where she has joined today, Dr. Onyeka Obi. She's doing wonderfully well in Anambra, which has her peace initiative organization have a collaboration with the state government where they are even working on training the teachers. And maybe we may be in Anambra shortly for that meeting, which is intending to invite us also to be part of that meeting to come and train the teachers. Do you understand? So she's doing a lot. All right. So women can contribute in promoting peace education in their communities, and they have been doing it. I'll give you just one example. At the local level, she's doing it. Do you understand? So raising awareness, of course, women organizations frequently work to raise awareness. And of course, we promise to also support her with some of the materials, but just I was not having time to design, and I asked her for them to design so that we'll print and send it to them so that they will get the information they want on the document they want. Do you understand? So, and once they do that, we'll be willing to support them greatly. So, education awareness, because they are doing a lot, and a lot needs to be done. You understand? So we have several of those institutions. I think there's one time we hosted a lady. What is that her name? I think one endurance or so. She also have something uh, on peace, and we feature her in our peace clinic some times ago, and she was also speaking way and speaking for peace, making case for global peace. Do you understand? So these are the issue. So we need women, and women play active role in some of this. Some of them are doing great things on in several organizations, both government and privately owned organizations and international organizations. Some of them are working with them, doing great and mighty things to promote peace and create awareness in communities. So, sustainable development, linking peace and development, women involvement in peace building often leads to more effective integration of development goals. All right, so addressing the root causes of conflict and promoting social justice. So that is how much women are doing. Economic empowerment, supporting women's economic empowerment is essential for sustainable peace. So this group of people need to be supported. They need to be encouraged. So by the time we have the Women in Peace Building Forum get ready and activated, I think some of you here will support them so that they will do work, bringing more women into the fold. And once again, I'm inviting all of you. Our induction in Lagos is coming up on the 9th of October. Port Harcourt is on the 15th, and then Enugu and Abuja is on the 30th. You understand? During the convention, you come and interact with different people. We are inviting senior ranking people in our society, and we hope that they will be there. So make effort to be part of the induction so that you can also witness, interact with some of them, and start a relationship. Do you understand? So international frameworks. International framework, UN Security Council Resolution 1325, the land the importance of women's participation in peace and security efforts. So urging member states to include women in all levels of decision making. That's why some of them appointed ministers, some of them appointed head of agencies. Do you understand? Some of them appointed as high commissioners or ambassadors. Do you understand? So that's it. So let them also contribute to nation building. So these are some of the roles women are playing in peace building, cooperating diverse perspective, advocacy and mobilization, negotiation and mediation, post-conflict reconstruction, education and awareness. Women are doing all of this, and of course, they are also linking sustainable development with their efforts. Talk about international frameworks. So, international frameworks talk about UN Security Council, which also contributes in that aspect. Talk about global advocacy. Women's rights organizations play a crucial role in advocating the implementation of international frameworks and norms that support women's participation in peace building. All right. Seems to me that that's what the Barbados Prime Minister was trying to say. So let's look at our last topic for today. I have another meeting, so I want to finish this so that we give ourselves a little time before I commit to that meeting. All right. So UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace, and security. What does it contain? What does it contain? UN Security Council Resolution 1325, adopted on October 31st, 2000, is a landmark resolution that emphasizes the important role of women in the prevention and resolution of conflict. Yes, they are contributing and they can contribute a lot in that direction. Do you understand? So they should be given opportunity to participate, call for participation, right? Involvement in peace processes, right? Resolution 1325 calls for the increased representation of women in all decision-making levels in national, regional, and international organizations related to peace and security. So women should be given opportunity to do this. And that's why as a body we are having something special for the women. You understand? We're having something special for the youth. And of course, we're also having something special for justice. And all of them will be working pari passu to make sure that justice is being served. And of course, those whom are, who were not able to receive any form of justice can get justice. Protection of women and girls. That section, that resolution also worked towards the protection of women and girls in war zone. The resolution stressed the need of to protect women and girls from gender-based violence in conflict and conflicting situations. Do you understand? So women's rights and their image and interests must be protected even in war zones. All right. Their rights must be protected. Their interests must be protected. Their need must be protected. So prevention strategies. That's resolution also bring about some, prevention strategies that should be embedded. So the resolution urges member states to adopt a gender perspective in all aspects of peacekeeping and conflict prevention strategies. So whatever you are going to do as a nation, include women to participate in preventing conflict. They can do it massively well. And that's why we are in one way or the other impacting women directly so that they can be more productive. So either you come and join the membership of the institute or will continue to attend this training and gain more knowledge. And I tell you for free that you'll be able to do a lot. So if I lady here in this training, congratulations, because you will never be the same again at the end of this training. do something with this. So, training and capacity building. It advocates for the training of peacekeepers and military personnel on issues related to gender and the protection of women. So, this is what it is. Implementation and accountability. National Action Plan Resolution 1825 it encourages countries to develop and implement national action plans to operate its commitment, ensuring that gender considerations in integrated consideration integrated into all aspects of peace and security. So we need this. So women must be considered. In Nigeria, we used to have something called 40 affirmative. It's still applicable. So let's look at the framework for foundations for subsequent resolution. Resolution 1325 laid the groundwork for subsequent resolution on women, peace, and security, including Resolution 1820, 1888, 1889, and 2467. So this is what this resolution has been doing. So UN Security Council Resolution 1325 is a pivotal document that underscore the essential role of women. So women are doing a lot, and they should also be treated fairly. Do you understand? They should be carried along in most of these things that we do in nations of the world. So let me go to your comment sections. I think this is the much we can take for today. So, are you there? If you are there, you will let us know that you are there. All right. Any question? Any question? Any question? So these topics or this these topics, I'll update them so that you can get them in the manual as well. So women should be given the opportunity to participate in peace building processes and in conflict resolution. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night rest. See you tomorrow by 7 p.m. See you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Bye.